Hello, this is Allie with the Perception Trainers, author of the Perception Diet, and today I am so freaking excited to begin this series that we are going to be doing here on Perception Trainers about creativity and living a creative life. Now, the reason that I'm so excited about this is because I really want to, with these videos, inspire you to understand and then step into the idea that life is creative, that your entire life can be a creative process and is a creative process. We're going to talk about this. But in the sense of like, yes, I want to inspire you in your vocation. Yes, I want to inspire you in your what you offer the world and what you do in the world. That's totally a huge part of this. And living a creative life is going to be definitely involving what you do and how that kind of manifests in what you offer to others and to the world. However, I feel like in so many talks about creative life and creative living and being someone who's a creative person, we forget this aspect of how much it needs to be just who and what you are all the time, and how it can be just who and what you are all the time. And when you live a creative life, meaning it's not just what you do, it's not just what you offer, it's not just in your vocation, it's not just in your work, it's all the time. This is where we find that bliss that spiritual teachers and other people tell us can happen in life. It's when we step into understanding that it is life that is a creative endeavor and that we're here to be conscious, constant co-creators of this reality, that we get these blissful days and these blissful weeks and these blissful months and life starting to, we can, this is how we step out of life being a grind. All right. And so that's why I'm so excited about this, because this isn't just what you do in the world. This isn't just your career. This isn't just your pastime when you're like have some free time to like do a painting. This is so much bigger than that. And if you let it be all that it actually is, it will absolutely go into every aspect of your life. Being a creative person, living a creative life is living life on a whole different plane than the average person. And I want that for you. I just want that for you. Okay, so that's why I'm so excited about this. So before we get started, essentially, I'm gonna have 3 videos, maybe 4 after this, talking about specific aspects of living a creative life and the more kind of nuts and bolts, practical tools, how to actually get yourself into living a creative life. And so don't worry if you're looking for like, but Allie, what does all this mean and how do I do it? I'm going to tell you, okay? But in this video, we're going to go a little bit big picture and we're going to talk about some things just to get them out of the way, because I know there's going to be questions and I can answer them before you ask them, and so that we can not waste time with that stuff going forward, okay? So I really want you to watch this video first. And I know that it's big picture. I know that it's not a lot of practical tool. It's not tips. It's not real. Essentially, it's not super practical, but you need this information in order for the practical stuff to make sense, okay? So number one thing, the absolute number one thing about living a creative life is that you have to be willing to think and try things for yourself, okay? So with that, I know I just said it's not going to be practical, but here's my practical thing that I'm going to do with this, okay? With that, for the next 4 videos, all in this creative series, if you ask me a question in the comments, I am not going to reply to you until you reply to your own question with your own answer, okay? So this is truly my little kick in the butt that I'm going to give you to start you on the most fundamental, foundational, most important thing that you can do for yourself if you want to live a creative life. And that is to start being brave enough to think for yourself and try things for yourself and see how they work. Okay? So I am not going to answer any questions under any of the creativity videos that don't have an answer from yourself first. Fair? Okay. So that's my first little challenge to you. Because if you are not willing to try stuff, if you're not willing to think for yourself, if you're not willing to explore, if you're not willing to not know and try things anyways and see how it works and figure out what did work, what didn't work, what can you improve, what can't you will never live a creative life, okay? So long as you need someone outside of you to tell you all your answers, so long as you need someone outside of you to tell you that it's going to work before you try, so long as you literally have a question and before you even think about, do I know the answer, you are asking, you will never be a creative person. Because being creative and thinking for yourself are one and the same thing. If you can't think for yourself, you cannot be creative. Now, this does not mean that you can't ask questions. This doesn't mean that you can't learn from other people. This doesn't mean that no one has anything for you that's of service or of value. Of course not. Another aspect of being a creative person is absolutely learning all the time, and sometimes we learn from other people. However, reality and your experience are your greatest teachers. Okay? I am a mouthpiece. I am not your greatest teacher. No one in a human body is your greatest teacher. Your greatest teacher is reality and your experience. And so if you can accept that, yeah, that you are willing to try things, you are willing to think for yourself, you are willing to learn from what you are going through, you have the potential to live a creative life. Second thing, if you're not willing to learn from your experience without making it mean that you are wrong and bad, you will never be a creative person. And this is why the self-love message that I harp on about in pretty much every single video is the message that I harp on about in every single video. Because this is the foundation, the second most important foundation of living a creative life, is being able to be wrong without making that a bad thing. Truly, if you blame yourself, if you guilt yourself for how you used to be when you learn something new, if you beat yourself up, if you berate yourself, if you let learning new things, learning from your experience, having things go a way you didn't expect them to go, trying things and it not working out the way you thought it was going to work, doing things and it not working out the way you thought they were going to, thinking things and realizing that you were wrong. If you make all of that mean that you're a bad person, if you make all of that mean that there's something wrong with you, if you make all of that mean that you were wrong and bad before, you will never live a creative life. Because if you can't learn and then just, okay, it was wrong before. No big deal. I learned. Yeah? I was doing something totally crazy before. My theory was incorrect. The thing that I thought was going to work didn't. And that's fine. That's great. That means I learn. That means I can grow. That means I can expand. That means I can do something different. That is how you will become a conscious creator. That is how you will become a powerful creator. That is how you will become someone who literally, in every area of your life, you are taking charge. You are owning yourself. You are stepping into a life cycle because you're willing to learn without making that learning mean you were wrong before, okay? So first thing is you got to be willing to think and try things for yourself. Second thing is you have to be willing to take your journey without making your journey mean you were wrong and bad. So literally, if you want to stay in any kind of victim mode, which is what self-blame is, which is what regret is, which is what self-doubt is, which is what, oh my gosh, I tried it and it didn't work and that's horrible is, and same thing with defending your position even when you don't really know, nitpicking arguments even though you know you're wrong on some level, having things that you're doing not working but you're defending yourself instead of trying to learn something new. That's all the victim mentality. And that victim mentality keeps you stuck exactly where you are. You can never grow, you can never learn, you can never change, you can never become anything more than what you are right here, right now, if you want to hold on to any of that bullshit. So this is the second most important pillar of creating a creative life, okay? You got to be willing to say, it didn't work, I was wrong, I didn't know, and not make that means that you're a horrible person. And truly, right, if you want to hold on to that, that is totally your prerogative. You're allowed. If you want to defend yourself, even when things aren't working, if you want to use your perception to create realities about how what you're doing is working, even though it's very obvious and clear on many, many levels that it isn't working, as in you're not getting the results you want, the things that you're wanting to have happen aren't happening, and you don't know why, if you want to hold on to that, that's totally your choice. You're absolutely allowed to do that. However, you have to understand that what you're sacrificing in holding on to that is everything you've ever wanted, basically, right? Like, this is it. We are here to learn. We are here to not know and then to figure it out through experience, okay? This life experience, if you are trying to circumnavigate the physical experience, if you are trying to know everything before you start, if you are trying to tell yourself that if you make a mistake, you did life wrong, if you are trying to tell yourself that progression means that you were wrong and bad before, you're making yourself miserable for no reason, because you're completely misunderstanding the whole entire point of life, which is to completely forget how it all works, to immerse yourself in untruths, and to immerse yourself in contrast and experience all of the out of alignment shit so that you can figure out what alignment is, okay? That's what being a creative person is realizing that reality is not relative, okay? There is a reality. There is truth. There are things that are how the reality works. That's a very important thing to understand. We're not all special snowflakes living in our own little reality. There's a reality. There's a way that the body needs to be treated for it to be healthy. We're not special snowflakes, okay? But of course, there's a spectrum. We're all at a different place. So this is this paradox that you really need to understand about this creative life. There is a reality, and there is a uniqueness to you. So you're not 100% special snowflake, but you're not 100% amalgamous to everything either. You're somewhere in the middle, meaning there is a reality. There are things that you're going to learn about how things work that are not relative, meaning they are the same for everybody. Everyone has to breathe air. This is one of these rules, okay? Like, and I mean, that's just kind of like a really lame one, but okay? There are rules to the universe, structure, form, that you're going to understand and you're going to start to learn about when you start to become a creative person, that you're not outside of, no one's outside of, and we break ourselves against when we don't understand how they work. But the second thing you're going to realize is that you are an individual, unique fractal of all that is expressing the reality in a unique way. So your path is not going to look like anybody else's path. Your discovering of reality is going to look different than everybody else's discovering of reality. And this is the next thing to understand about a creative life, is that a creative life is truly, if we boil it down and give it a definition, is your unique perceiving and then what's the word? Manifesting and projecting of reality. Okay? It's you taking reality and then being the individual that you are, doing what only you can do with it. Like, this is truly what living a creative life is saying, okay, these are the parameters. This is how life works. And now from there, what do I want to do? What do I want to create? What do I want to be? What do I want to see? What rules do I want to play around with? What things inspire me? What things am I totally not interested in? This is your unique stepping into and expanding reality. And that's the point of view. That's why I say this creative life is a lifestyle. It's not what you do in your job. It's literally should become what you are 100% of the time. It's you discovering you. It's you discovering the reality and then taking those two things and saying, what am I going to do with this? How am I going to express this? How am I going to what am I going to do to manifest this in the physical realm? Because I understand that the physical realm is the point of this experience. You already know everything as a spirit, okay? We're going to go a little bit esoteric, okay? Your soul, your being, the thing that you are that's animating your physical body already knows everything. It's not about learning so much the theory. You already have the theory, okay? What you don't have is physical experience of the theory. What you don't have is, okay, I've read all the books about flying an airplane, yeah? I totally understand how an airplane works. I get that. I'm intellectually completely filled with all this stuff, but I've never sat in a cockpit. So I don't really know how it works to fly a plane. And I've never had the experience. And reading about flying a plane and actually flying in a plane are two very different things. And so this human experience where we forget everything and we step into contrast and we step into the lies and we step into non-reality, which are all just death cycles, we do that for a reason. Okay? Every experience that you're having can be used by you as an opportunity to learn something about yourself, to learn something about reality, and then to expand and grow. Okay? So this creative life and this self-love path are the same fucking thing. Okay? I'm just saying it creative now. But it's truly about you learning who you are, learning how the reality works, and then expressing that knowledge in your specific way, right? Understanding the reality, understanding yourself, the part of yourself that wants to express within the confines of how reality works. That's a creative life. Okay, last thing I want to talk about before we're done, and then we get into our nuts and bolts practicality stuff, okay, is that creativity has nothing to do necessarily with artistry, okay, and what we consider to be artistic things in the human realm. Creativity is everything, okay? Creativity is how you parent. Creativity is how you eat. Creativity is how you speak. Creativity is who you decide to talk to. Creativity is the books you read. Creativity is the TV you watch. Creativity is everything, all right? If we are going to say creativity is only the arts, we're completely missing the point, okay? This whole life is a creation. Everything you do, everything you think, everything you believe, everything you feel is a creation. It's a creation. So that's why I didn't call this series Becoming a Creator, because you're already a creator. You're already creating your life with your perceptions. You're already creating your life with your thoughts. You're already creating your life with your actions. Understanding again, it's not so much that you think about things and then you create them, okay? It's you think about things which then affect what you believe, which then affect how you behave, and that affects what you create in your life. You are not manifesting magically by sitting in your bed. You're manifesting by all the things you think about and then take action on. So that's why your beliefs are powerful. Not because literally thinking about $1 million is going to make $1 million come to you, but it's like if you truly believe you're going to make $1 million, you're going to take action that leads you towards creating $1 million for yourself. You will probably do that. Yeah? And if you believe you can't have that, you won't take the action. But it's action. Yeah? It's the physical experience that does shit. So again, this last little note that I want to say, okay? Your creative life is a manifestation. And what you need to understand is the thing about the law of attraction that's actually true is that you are right now attracting to yourself as in experiencing reality, what you don't already know about reality. That's your point of attraction all the time, what you need to learn about reality. And then from there, if you choose to learn it, you will create an awesome life. If you choose to resist it and think that life is going wrong and everything is horrible, you will continue to manifest situations that are trying to teach you that thing because it's what you need to become the creator you're here to become. Yes? So that's what manifestation is. That's what attraction is. Learning what this life is about and how to create what you want from the understanding that you don't already know. Okay? So In the next video, we're going to talk about the first pillar. Until then, don't ask me questions without asking your answer.